This might be for Mr. Aguilar. Last week, the RNC passed a resolution that censured Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney in part, for being on a committee that was stifling legitimate political discourse. And in the wake of that, the RNC members keep saying that had nothing to do with January 6th. They're talking about oppression of people like elderly RNC members who had nothing to do with January 6th, weren't even in January 6th. Can you address the idea that the committee is somehow going after innocent people who are just trying to speak their mind?
Yeah, I was shocked to read the statement, and saddened. The fact that we have an entire political party that is sanctioning violence that took place that day is deeply disturbing, not just to members of the committee, but to anyone who was here that day. Ask the Capitol Police officers if the people they interacted with were engaged in legitimate political discourse. It's just, at a human level, it's just maddening. 140 Capitol Police officers and Metro Police officers were hurt that day. People lost their lives, and the RNC negotiated this. This was a carefully crafted, carefully worded document that took them days to hammer out. And so they can't gloss over the fact that this was a mistake, or, we meant it about this. No, that they knew exactly what they were doing. And it's shocking. And as a committee member, I appreciate the work that Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney have done. But our mandate is to get to the truth. That's what all of us voted for up here. All of us voted for, by the way, a commission that was negotiated among Democrats and Republicans that Mitch McConnell torpedoed by asking his caucus to do him a personal favor. So then we engaged in the committee. Everyone standing up here supported the committee. Our responsibility is to get to the truth. That's exactly what we are doing. Many phases of it, I understand, are out of the public realm. There will be a public piece of it in the future, and then we'll culminate in a report that will also talk about the steps we can take to avoid what happened that dark day from ever happening again. That's our responsibility, and that's what we're committed to. But look, Newt Gingrich also said that committee members were going to jail or something. So I don't like can't be held responsible for what all of the folks on the other side of the aisle say about what the committee's work is. We've got thick skin, and we've got a job to do, and that's what we're going to do.
Do you feel that the committee's subpoenas have been narrowly tailored, or do you think that perhaps they are going a little far afield right now?
Our subpoenas have been deliberate, they've been thoughtful, and they have been focused on pulling every single thread that will lead to the truth. And so people may not like it, maybe a little uncomfortable for some people, but our job isn't to give comfort to folks who helped out those people. Our job is to tell the truth. And so we'll pull those threads. We're not saying everyone who speaks to us did something wrong. What we're saying is, show us what you know, tell us about what you know, and help us ensure that this never happens again. Thanks.
The C in RNC doesn't stand for committee, it stands for cult. It's not the Republican National Committee, it's the Republican National Cult. That is the only way you can explain how the grand old party would come to the conclusion that people who engaged in rampant mob violence, urinated, defecated, desecrated the Capitol, brutally beat up police officers, seriously injured more than 140. Police officers lost their lives as a result of the events of January 6th. And the cult says it's legitimate political discourse. They've come to that conclusion because they continue to bend the knee to the former twice impeached so-called president, Donald Trump. Ronna McDaniel should be ashamed of herself. What makes it worse is that our Republican colleagues here in the Capitol refuse to denounce it because they're part of the cult as well.